So if we talk about supersecondary structure of protein, from the name, wait a minute, from the name we can see that these are supersecondary means they are above a secondary level structure of protein, which means they are more complex than this. Now, before getting into the deep concept of that, I need to clear out some basic terms like what is motif and what is domain. So basically, motif is a simple combination of few secondary structure elements with a specific geometrical arrangement. Example like helix, loop, helix. So these are two helix structures which are connected via loop. Domain, the fundamental unit of structure, folding, and evolution. It combines with several secondary structures and motifs. A domain can fold independently in a 3D structure and it has a specific function. So guys, you can see that in the domain, the complexity gets increased and more well-defined structure is obtained. In domain, more interaction occurs due to which more folding is present and more complexity will be obtained. So let's now let us give a brief introduction of super secondary structures. Super secondary structures are above a secondary as of a protein is a simply a combination of secondary structures. They are intermediate between the secondary and tertiary structures, typically composed of two secondary structures or a turn-off loop. So here is a very systematic diagram which is given out here. So let's check it. For example, secondary structures like alpha helix and beta strand. So then super secondary structure will form is when alpha alpha will combine, due to which they will form alpha hairpin. Or alpha can combine with beta, which will form beta alpha beta, and beta strand can combine with only beta to form beta beta hairpin. When secondary structure and motif combine, they will form domain out here. There. For example, four alpha are combining here, so the four helical bundles are produced. Beta alpha beta is combining, Roseman 4 is produced. I will talk about this Roseman 4 later in my next slides. Beta 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 Mendel is produced to 4 beta, that is Greek is produced. Now talking about super secondary structures can be classified into three types. Firstly, helix. So what is helix? It is a common motif in secondary structure of proteins. What happens in this NH group of hydrogen bonds to the backbone COO group of carbon. It is located 3-4 residues earlier along the protein sequence. Now we will talk about sheets. So sheets here basically refers to beta sheets, beta strands, which are connected by at least 2 or 3 backbone hydrogen bonds, forming a twisted plated sheet. So, and that's it. Now helix and sheets will form the mixed structure. A combination of both of them two will form the mixed structure out here, which is beta alpha beta motif. So helix can be described into basically four categories like helix turn helix, helix loop helix, helix hairpin helix, and alpha alpha corner. Helix turn helix. It is a major structure motif capable of binding to the DNA. So it's here comes its biochemistry function that it is able to bind to DNA. It is composed of two anti-parallel alpha helices which are joined by a short strand of amino acids. As you can see over here, there is one alpha helix out here and there is one alpha helix out here. And it is joined by amino acid which is present here. It is found in many proteins that regulates the gene expression. Okay. So another function is one of the helix contributes to the DNA recognition and the other help in stabilizing the interaction between the protein and DNA. So one is the recognition helix and other one is his help for stabilization. Involved in cell proliferation. If you talk about proliferation means increase in cell number, establishment of DNA structure, maintenance of circadian rhythm. So basically, circadian. You can ask me what is the meaning of circadian rhythm? A circadian rhythm is a natural internal process that regulates sleep-wake cycle and repeats roughly every 24 hours. For example, if we take it, sleeping at night and being awake during the day is an example of light-related circadian rhythm. Now, helix loop helix. It is a protein structure motif which characterize a family of transcription factors. Transcription factors, you know that the factors which are involved in the rate of transcription. It is composed of two alpha helices which are joined by a loop. In this, one helix is smaller and flexible, which allows dimerization by folding and packing another, against another helix. The larger helix contains the larger one is which? This is one, no? So larger helix contains the DNA binding region. If we talk about dimerization, dimerization is the addition reaction in which two molecules of the same compound react with each other to give adduct. Helix hairpin helix. It is a stretch of approximately 20 amino acids that is present in prokaryotic and eukaryotic non-specific sequence DNA binding proteins. Non-sequence DNA binding occurs via the formation of hydrogen bonds between protein, backbone, nitrogen, and DNA phosphate groups. So alpha-alpha bond. This is the most simplest structure which will be available in helix. In this short region, loops connecting helices are formed, which are perpendicular to one another. So the perpendicular structure gives them more stability out here. Sheets. Sheets can be classified into three types like beta hairpins, beta beta corner, Greek key motif. Talking about beta hairpins, this is the most simplest supersecondary structure, mostly found in globular proteins. Okay, they occur as the short loop regions between antiparallel hydrogen bonded beta strands. However, it is said that beta hairpin motif has no specific function. So basically, function has not been specified. But some evidence shows that beta hairpin do have function and structure loose. There has been some research conducted by the scientists out there which has said that beta hairpin has got some structure, function and structure. Beta beta corner, which consists of two anti-parallel beta strands. One is this, you can see that both are anti, one is going this side and one is going this side. So if you want to calculate the angle which is forming, can I say that it will be the plus minus 180 because both are in the opposite side. It is like a long beta hairpin like structure folded orthogonally. Can change the direction abruptly at about 90 degrees. So they can change the direction by 90 degrees. The abrupt angle change is achieved by one strand having a glycine residue. In in this two, one strand is getting a glycine residue and the other one is having a beta bulge out there. No known function is same. The function is not defined for this. Greek key motif. Four adjacent beta strands are joined together by short loops. These are the four adjacent beta strands which are joined by a loop. It consists of three antiparallel strands and their linking loops. It is very common structural motif in proteins. The motif is not associated with any same, the function is not there, but is commonly found in protein structures. Now talking about mixed supersecondary structures, beta alpha beta motif, Roseman fold, and Zinger motif are some of the examples of it. Beta alpha beta motif. Two adjacent beta sheets are connected by an alpha helix. So beta and beta are connected by alpha. Connection is at C terminus from one strand and at N terminus on another strand. Most proteins that contain parallel beta sheets are built up from such combinations of beta alpha beta motif. The loop that connects both the strands is frequently involved in ligand binding functions and the motif is found in ion channels. Now, Roseman fold. This is the most important as in CSI identity exams. Many questions came from this Roseman fold. So please listen to this carefully. It is a structural motif found in proteins that binds nucleotide cofactors such as FAD+, NAD+, and NADP+, etc. This fold is composed of alternating beta strands. These you can see the alternating beta strands are there and alpha helical segments where the beta strands are bonded by hydrogen to each other. It is frequently occurring motif in nucleotide binding proteins. The function of Roseman folding enzyme is to bind nucleotide cofactors and also it often contributes to substrate binding. So if in the exam it is answered what are the functions in MCQ form that what are the functions of Roseman fold, so this you can refer basically to this. The last one is zinc finger motif. It is a small protein structural motif. It is coordinated by one or more zinc in ion in order to stabilize the bond. So basically, one, two, three ions are present out here to stabilize the bond. The zinc ion is held in place by two cysteine and two histidine R groups. Most of the time, this motif is found in the proteins that interact with DNA and RNA. So this is the last side, and that's it from my side. So thank you. Bye.